Yeah, some big challenges ahead there for Greece. Well, let's take a closer look at the country's fortunes. I'm joined by Constance Baroudos from the Lexington Institute. Constance, you just got back from Greece a few days ago. You travel there a lot. What's the mood there now, particularly among young people?
So, as you know, the unemployment rate amongst young people is over 50% right now. And the mood overall is very gloom, kind of hopeless. You have young people who are educated and they can't find a job. They're working. Some are not getting paid because whoever they're working for does not have enough money to pay them. And some people feel that they need to leave the country in pursuit of other opportunities, even though they don't want to leave home. Also, I experienced that a lot of people were sharing that they don't really feel like democracy is happening in Greece. They voted for the political party that's in control, Syriza, to no longer have austerity, yet that's what we're seeing still. That's still going on, exactly. And as we saw in the referendum, over 60% of Greek citizens voted to no longer have austerity. So they feel like, what's the point of us voting anymore? All that they can do is sit and watch.
And this is why you're seeing now, for example, there have been strikes because the government is under pressure to try and cut back pensions, save around $2 billion or so, I think. We saw quite a lot of figures there in Filio's report. Capital controls, you can only withdraw around $460 a week. The one figure that really jumps out at me when I look at Greece is the taxation. There were some recent figures out saying the tax arrears amounted to something like $13 billion. To me, that says it all about Greece. This is a country that can't really help itself if it won't pay taxes. Yeah,
so you have a 25% unemployment rate in the country as a whole, 15% for the youth. And yet we have a tax rate of 23%. It goes a little lower for some staple items, but it's still very high. What Greece really needs is an increase of foreign investment. As we're seeing with China, Costco, that was the sole bidder of privatizing the port of Piraeus. Most recently, Greece signed a deal with a German company, Fraport, to privatize its airports. Those are two large deals that are bringing in foreign investment that will eventually create more jobs and increase tax revenue. And that's what Greece needs now.
Will it cause any resentment, though, that essentially Greece is selling off its assets to foreign companies? Definitely. Or are you saying that's the only way?
Definitely, because the Greek citizens they feel like their assets are being sold to foreign monopolies and other companies. They don't want that to happen. Prime Minister Tsipras even said, I don't agree with these reforms, but I will implement them. The Greek people feel cheated, and they've been feeling cheated for a long time. Now we need to focus on what we have on the plate, which is work on these economic reforms, the first wave, which we will see a particular contention in the beginning of next year with pensions, so that eventually Greece's creditors will sit down and start negotiations to restructure the debt, which is key to making it sustainable.
Does Greece even have that time? We're sitting here now, 3 bailouts, something like $250 billion or so in debt. Did you honestly think that in December you and I would be sitting here with Greece still in the Eurozone?
It was definitely a juggling moment during the summer. A lot of people still feel that Greece should have left the euro because they don't like outsiders telling them what to do. Well, now we've chosen Greece to stay in the euro. Now we need to do what's on our plate. It's going to be difficult in regards to pensions because Greece's creditors want Greece to cut pension costs by 1% of GDP, which is about over $1 billion euros. But Syriza doesn't want to do that. Syriza is saying we'd rather have increase of contributions from employees and employers. So that's going to be interesting. And that needs to happen so that we can start discussions for restructuring the debt.
That's one of the main sticking points. Just briefly, Constance, what about the migrant crisis and all of this? This is a country that's massively exposed to it and probably the country that can least afford to take on thousands, if not millions of migrants.
Definitely. So right now, the two main things that came out of European integration is the common currency and free travel within European borders. And Greece is at the forefront of two of these issues right now. Greece has spent approximately €1 billion of its national budget on the refugee crisis, taking care of refugees, providing them with medical support, housing. And you know, everyone I've talked to in the Greek government doesn't complain about it. They know that the economy is struggling. They are more than dedicated to helping these people and to ensure that the least life loss is possible.
Can they really afford it?
No, of course not. But that shows the heart of the Greek people. Do you hear them complaining about it? No. Yes, they need to work with the European Union to share costs, expenses, and labor, and with Turkey, but they're there and they're doing what they need to do. Okay,
some huge challenges there. Constance Baroudos from the Lexington Institute, many thanks indeed for talking to us.